Here's a summary of the IDEXX Laboratories Q4 2025 earnings call, designed for clear and concise delivery. Introduction. Good morning, and welcome to the IDEXX Laboratories fourth quarter 2025 earnings conference call. Today, we'll be reviewing our Q4 and full year 2025 financial results and outlining our outlook for 2026. Please remember that our discussion may include forward-looking statements subject to risks and uncertainties, and we encourage you to refer to our SEC filings for more information. Q4 2025 financial highlights. IDEXX delivered excellent financial performance in the fourth quarter of 2025, driven by strong double-digit top-line growth. Revenue. Reported revenue increased by 14%, with organic revenue growing by 12%. A key driver was the 10% organic growth in our Canine and Feline (CAG) Diagnostics recurring revenues. Instrument placements. We achieved a record number of premium instrument placements in Q4, with significant gains across our major platforms. Notably, we saw over 1,900 IDEXX InVue DX placements, contributing to a 69% organic year-over-year expansion in CAG diagnostic instrument revenues. Earnings per share, EPS. Diluted EPS reached $3.08, a 17% increase on a comparable basis, while we continued to invest in our commercial and innovation capabilities. Full year 2025 financial performance. For the full year 2025, IDEXX demonstrated solid revenue expansion and strong financial performance, aligned with our long-term potential. Revenue. We achieved 10% overall organic revenue growth for the full year, supported by 8% organic growth in CAG diagnostics recurring revenues. Instrument installed base. Our global premium instrument installed base expanded by 12% year-over-year, including approximately 6,400 InVue DX instruments. Operating margin. Full-year operating margins reached 31.6%, an increase of 90 basis points on a comparable basis, reflecting strong revenue growth and productivity gains. EPS. Full-year diluted EPS was $13.08 per share, up 14% year-over-year on a comparable basis, driven by strong operational performance. Key business segment performance in Q4 2025. CAG Diagnostics recurring revenue increased 10% organically, driven by volume growth and a 4% increase in average global net price. U.S. CAG Diagnostics recurring revenue grew 9% organically, with approximately 4% from net price improvement and 5% from volume growth. Despite a 1.7% decline in U.S. same-store clinical visits in Q4, IDEXX achieved revenue growth premium of 1,100 basis points over visit growth. Vet lab consumables. Organic revenue increased 15%, benefiting from a 12% increase in our global premium instrument installed base. Instrument placements. We placed 6,567 premium instruments in Q4, up 42% from the prior year, with strong performance in IDEXX and SediVue. Rapid assays. Organic revenue declined 3%, impacted by pressure on U.S. wellness visits and the transition of pancreatic lipase to our Catalyst slide. Global reference labs. Organic revenue expanded 9%, supported by solid volume growth and net price improvements, with continued traction from innovations like IDEXX Cancer DX. Veterinary software and diagnostics. Imaging revenues increased 13% organically, driven by our vertical SaaS strategy and double-digit growth in cloud-based PIMS recurring revenue. Water segment. Organic revenue increased 10%, with strong international growth. Livestock, poultry, and dairy. Organic revenue increased 4%. Profitability and cash flow. Gross margin. In Q4, gross profit increased 15% as reported and 13% on a comparable basis, achieving 60.3%. This represents an improvement of 60 basis points. Operating expenses. increased 11% as reported and 10% year-over-year on a comparable basis, reflecting investments in R&D and commercial capabilities. Free cash flow. Full-year free cash flow was $1.1 billion, representing 100% of net income and ahead of our long-term goals. Share repurchases. We allocated $1.2 billion to repurchase 2.4 million shares. Full year 2026 financial outlook. We are providing initial guidance for 2026. Anticipating solid organic revenue growth and profit gains, building on strong execution and innovative platforms. Revenue. We project reported revenue between $4.632 billion and $4.72 billion, representing 7.6% to 9.6% reported growth, or 7% to 9% organically. CAG Diagnostics recurring revenue, expected to grow 8% to 10% organically, an increase of approximately 100 basis points at the midpoint compared to 2025. This includes an expectation of global net price realization of approximately 4%, with U.S. net price improvement around 3.5%. U.S. clinical visits. We anticipate continued declines in U.S. same-store clinical visit growth of approximately 2%, similar to 2025 levels. Instrument placements. We are planning for solid placement levels, including 5,500 IDEXX instruments. We expect a decline in CAG instrument revenues as we lap the rapid expansion of IDEXX placements. Operating margin. Our full-year reported operating margin outlook is 32% to 32.5%, reflecting an expected comparable improvement of 30 to 80 basis points year-over-year. EPS. Our 2026 EPS outlook is $14.29 to $14.80 per share, representing a 10% to 14% increase on a comparable basis. Free cash flow. We expect a net income to free cash flow conversion ratio of 85% to 95%, reflecting capital spending of approximately $180 million. Key statements from management. Jay Mazilski, President and Chief Executive Officer. IDEXX delivered a very strong fourth quarter, closing a year marked by exceptional execution and meaningful strategic progress. 2025 was a defining year, where we successfully scaled transformative innovations, expanded our commercial presence, and demonstrated the resilience of our business model. Our performance is a testament to our customer-centric innovation, durable recurring revenue, and solutions deeply embedded in veterinary workflows. The deepening human-animal bond, coupled with an aging pet population, continues to drive demand for early detection and proactive care. Our commercial organization remains a core competitive advantage, and our recent expansions in key international markets will enable deeper engagement with clinics. We are confident in our strategy and our unique position to support the evolution of veterinary care. Andrew Emerson, Chief Financial Officer. We achieved excellent financial results in Q4 and for the full year 2025, exceeding our expectations with strong organic revenue growth and solid profit expansion. Our 2026 outlook reflects our confidence in continued execution, driven by our innovative platforms and expanding commercial capabilities. We are projecting robust organic revenue growth, with CAG Diagnostics recurring revenues expected to increase at the higher end of our historical range. Our operating margin guidance reflects planned investments alongside productivity gains and the benefits of our high-margin software business. We remain committed to delivering strong free cash flow and shareholder returns. Significant risk factors. Macroeconomic headwinds. Ongoing economic uncertainty could pressure veterinary practice budgets and pet owner spending. Veterinary visit trends. Continued declines or slower recovery in clinical visits, particularly wellness visits, could impact revenue. Competitive landscape. Intense competition within the veterinary diagnostics and software markets. regulatory and supply chain, potential disruptions or changes in regulations, and maintaining supply chain continuity. Innovation adoption, the success of new product launches and their adoption by veterinary professionals. Lowlights: clinical visit pressure, continued pressure on U.S. same-store clinical visits, especially for wellness and discretionary appointments, remains a headwind. Rapid assay decline, the organic decline in rapid assay revenues, though partially driven by strategic product transitions. Instrument revenue headwind, anticipated declines in CAG instrument revenues in 2026 as we cycle through the strong IDXX placements of 2025. Future outlook and strategic focus. Looking ahead to 2026, IDEXX remains focused on leveraging its innovation-driven growth strategy. Key initiatives include continued innovation, expanding our CancerDX panel with mast cell tumor detection, and advancing the IDXX platform with fine needle aspirate (FNA) capabilities. Commercial expansion, successfully integrating and scaling our recently expanded global commercial teams. Software integration, driving adoption of our integrated software ecosystem, including Velo, to enhance clinic productivity and pet owner engagement. Installed base growth, continuing to expand our premium instrument installed base to fuel recurring revenue and innovation adoption. Conclusion: IDEXX is well-positioned entering 2026 with a strong foundation, an expanded global field team, and innovative platforms designed to meet customer challenges. We are committed to creating long-term value for our customers, employees, and shareholders. Thank you for your participation. This concludes our Q4 2025 earnings call.